The Miracle of the Red Blouse. The blaring of the black alarm clock broke the gentle peace of the dawn. I stretched out my hand and shut it off. Half awake, I lay in bed thinking of my most beautiful Christmas ever. Life hummed with warmth of love and care. As I lay there, I thought about the beautiful evening earlier that week with our older daughter and her husband. We had played games, laughed, teased, and exchanged gifts. It was as if time stood still. I ached for my younger daughter and her husband, but they lived in another state and could not be with us that holiday. That night I remembered that we did not pray as a family. Gently, God reminded me that evening was an answer to prayer, and the love we shared amongst us was a prayer of thanksgiving. As we opened the presents at our own home on Christmas Eve, the magic seemed to extend. It was magical, not because of the many gifts that were given with much care and thought, but because we shared the greatest gift of all, love. The alarm went off again, and I got dressed to go to one of the after-Christmas super sales. I had started a new business and desperately needed some new clothes. Now was a good time to get them. I pulled out my favorite red blouse and I wore it over my black slacks. I loved that blouse. It had been custom made for me in India. Besides being a perfect fit, the fabric kept me warm, and I thought the red brought out the colors in my eyes and hair. Also, the red reminded me of love. I smiled as I wore the red blouse for maybe the 100th time. It was my favorite, and I was glad no one teased me at home for wearing it so often. Slipping it on always felt like I was wrapping myself in love. I could wear the blouse inside a jacket and it still looked good. Like love, sometimes demonstrated quietly through gentle acts of kindness and mercy. At other times, I would wear the blouse with my jeans for all to see. That was like a hug or a kiss, there for someone to see and feel. All I could think was that it was one good blouse and I never needed an excuse to wear it. I glanced in the kitchen as I got ready to leave. Whoops! There was a stain on the kitchen counter. I quickly poured some chlorine bleach onto a kitchen towel and dabbed the spot. Hurriedly, almost absent-mindedly, I arranged the things in the kitchen and left for the mall. I was halfway through the shopping when I got hot and decided to remove my jacket. My daughter looked at me and exclaimed, "Mom, you have ruined your blouse." I looked down, and to my horror and disbelief, I saw a huge pinkish-white spot on my beautiful red blouse. I almost cried. Okay, I did cry. I could never find another blouse like that again. It fit perfectly. It was custom made. I loved the color, and where was I going to get another one? This one came all the way from India. Well, if anything could mar my near-perfect Christmas, it was this. I started to pray. Dear God, make it not so. Then I felt silly. Why would God care about a dumb old blouse with all the problems in the world? Downcast, I walked to the next aisle to pick myself a pantsuit, and what was that? There, perched amongst all the black and blues, was a red blouse. I grabbed it and held it up. It was almost identical to the one I had just ruined. I quickly tried it on and it fit me just like my old one. The miracle lay in the realization that my blouse, which I had just ruined, was tailor-made in India just for me. And yet, here I was halfway around the world in a mall during an after-Christmas sale, looking at a nearly identical blouse. Was it just a coincidence? I didn't think so. I smiled as I once again remembered that He was a God of more than enough. He was also a God who cares about anything we care about. If it is important to us, it is important to Him. The red blouse was just a gentle reminder of His great love for each of us, even in the mundane hustle and bustle of everyday life. Suddenly, I felt ashamed of how I had underrated a God who had given me His all. He had given Himself. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story as much as I enjoyed writing it. Here is wishing you a very wonderful Christmas season. Time to open presents, visit family, friends. But let's remember the very special reason He came. He came because He loves you and He loves me. And in all this busy time and fun, let's not forget how much He loves us. So here's wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.